Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, Q Money Magic Man. What's up, Q?
Oh, having an absolutely lovely day. And yourself?
I'm out of breath. I was sprinting. I needed water right before the show. And I played the song in my head. I was like, this is when I got to be back. But then I didn't take into account my lungs. They weren't operating with me. Also, you might have heard a friendly chuckle. That's my cousin over here, Senator Albert Lee Guillory. What's up, Mr. Albert?
Fabulous day. Great to be here with you and your very special audience.
Very special audience indeed. And we are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. So I want to see you over there at Rumble Day. That's Real Shad. What's up, That's Real Shad? We gave some love to the podcast. Remember that, Quentin?
Yeah, I was watching the other night.
Yeah. Good stuff. That's Real Shad. Thank you so much. Getting us kicked off over there at rumble.com. You can go to all our streaming devices. You can go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA. We can't wait. And this segment brought to you by my friends over there at Prejean's, man. It's always gumbo weather. You know what and Lent? Go check them out. So, Senator Guillory, cousin, let's make Papa Guillory proud, huh?
Yes, indeed. He's watching, and he's expecting us to do well today.
Well, we better get our A game on. Let's go. So here's the scene today, cousin. Fox News Digital's Elizabeth Elkin. She's reporting that Hillary Clinton, well, did y'all see that? Sitting for the House Oversight deposition in the Epstein probe. And she came in swinging. Now, she came in Arkansas swinging.
What did she say?
Well, what did she not say? No, I'm kidding. So she had a prepared statement, okay? And she says she didn't recall everything with Jeffrey Epstein. That's fair when you can't recall everything. I get it. But what she said is she never visited his island homes. She said she never visited his offices. Notice how she said, maybe so, I don't know. And she says she has nothing else to add. But she did. So she did. She accuses accuses Republicans of.
Well, I can't wait. Her husband is in tomorrow, and he'll be testifying. I'd like to see what he remembers. Maybe she didn't go to all of those places, but there's some pretty significant testimony so far that her husband was at the island and on the airplane.
Well, and that's the thing. So when I first read that, she wasn't on the plane. She wasn't in the island. She wasn't in the office or whatnot. There's all these pictures of Bill Clinton on the plane, in the office, at the in the swimming pool too, I think.
Several pictures in a swimming pool.
And he wasn't alone.
No. But definitely had a good picture. Photogenic.
Yeah.
I will give him that. Me, the opposite. But that, him and Mamdani. Huh? Come on now. That guy's always smiling.
I mean, even when he was at the nightclub the night before the election.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. No joke, huh? Well, yes, but that's interesting that you say that, Albert, because she could say that, and as soon as she said, I wasn't on the plane, I wasn't on all this, and I'm thinking, I didn't see any pictures of her. No one's saying much, but immediately, her husband can't run from it.
He cannot. There are too many photographs, published photographs already.
What do you say? We're friends. What? What? You don't get in the pool with the pedophile? Wait, there's nothing to see here. So the chairman is James Comer. He says nobody is accusing the Clintons of wrongdoing. Some of the stuff they say is kind of corny, like, okay, buddy. He says at this moment, though, dun, 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 but says the committee has questions, including about Epstein and Maxwell orbiting the Clinton world. True.
Yes.
Claims about fundraising for Clinton-related initiatives. Yeah, we know that.
Yes.
And I believe, wasn't he at like Chelsea's wedding or something like that?
He was definitely photographed at a wedding.
At a wedding, or maybe it was. I was going to say the Clintons' wedding. Maybe it was Trump's wedding. The Clintons were at Trump's wedding.
Yes, they were.
Just saying. He brought that up every time he could in the debate in 2016. Well, that's why you were at my wedding. I don't know. You went to the wedding. I must be good.
You do a great Donald Trump imitation.
Jamie Angel taught me right over there. We're quitting this. Yeah, so James Comer there, man, he's like, yeah, there's no wrongdoing now. But hey, we got some questions here about all this because, you may not have anything to do with them, but boy, you sure are around them a lot. Representative Nancy Mace, she's first up for questioning. That's what I saw at least. And, no, it was Ghislaine Maxwell that was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. So my bad. So Ghislaine Maxwell's there, which, again, that moment was after, this is a fact here, was after Epstein's first big round of public allegations. So, hey, it's all good. But, kind of got to give maybe more of a grown-up take here, okay? Not from me. I'm going to let the grown-ups talk. But because this topic kind of turns some lawmakers turn into lunatics whenever these kind of things come up, these topics. I don't even want to say gravity. What's your thoughts? You've been in office.
When someone gives the amount of money or raises the amount of money that that Epstein did, he has carte blanche to come to the weddings, to come to visit the house. I'm shocked that Mrs. Clinton never visited even his office, given the amount of money. Tremendous. We're talking about millions of dollars that
they weren't just
raised.
friends. You mean they weren't just friends?
Dollar friends.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. When we get back though, we're gonna take a break here in a little bit. But when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about what are we actually witnessing? What's going? Because I'm all about the truth. Everybody should be about the truth, and I just think we're at a pivotal time. I think we're at a pivotal time in our country. Is this? If this is done right, we can learn a lot. If this is done wrong, it's going to be another example of a form of, I won't say lawfare, but kinda, but it might not be. So it has the ingredients to be something really good, and y'all know I'm gonna focus on the positive. So, all right, and I positively have to take a commercial break. We'll be right back, but I love those commercial breaks now. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, my Rumble peeps in the hizzy for shizzy? Hey guys, thank y'all so much. I got Senator Elbert Gilroy here. Kill Switch, he says, good afternoon, man. I thought Clinton was smarter than to take 1,000 photos with Epstein. No joke, huh? Maybe, hey, if I remember, I'll read that on air, Kill Switch. He said he should have been like, no photos, please. Oh my gosh. He says it's Kill and Hillary Clinton. Bah. That's some interesting stuff, though, huh, Kuzan?
It really is.
Like, I don't know if they had to have planned to put Hillary first. That has you can't lead in with Bill, because she can really come in there and probably say, yeah, I didn't. I mean, she probably wasn't around.
Yes, her hands were clean. She washed them in the same waters that.
The Potomac. She washed them in the Potomac. You know, you think of Clinton's, poor Monica Lewinsky, and I say that poor Monica Lewinsky because she's. I saw something on her. She is very successful.
Yes, she is.
Very smart. Very, very. Just seems like really good person from all accounts. And I saw a little thing today, so it made me think of it. And a headline, it said, Monica Lewinsky was shamed publicly and we all sat by, or something like that. And it's true. Yep. In 1997 or whenever it was, how times were different.
They really are. America has moved far beyond where we were then, and not always for the positive, sadly, but
yeah, we
did hang Monica out to dry.
We did, and it's so now the pendulum, even in that genuine feeling has been hijacked, like the Me Too movement, for example. Okay, started out with probably some genuine victims that were probably like just horrible circumstances, but just like with Monica, just like with this, the pendulum comes, swings extreme. You get money involved. Partners get paid. And we get called racist.
People come out of the woodworks 50 years, 60 years later.
Right. It's just, but that's interesting though. Well, look, Rumble folks, we'll take a tiny little break. We got about a minute and a half, man. Look, hit us up on that chat. Be like That's Real Chat and Kill Switch, my boy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we'll be right back, folks. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. Go check us out at rumble.com. You can also go to X at Josh Guillory USA. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We certainly love you. What's up with that, Q? Commercial? That's what I'm saying. Oh, it's me. Okay, got it. Anywho, man, all right, so we're talking about the Clintons, specifically Hillary Clinton, in front of the one of the committees here, or from the Congress House Oversight Committee, and she's pretty much saying, look, man, I wasn't around his offices, I wasn't around his planes, I wasn't in a pool, you didn't see me in a pool with anybody. That's what Hillary said. I know what you're thinking. That's a sailor in you, see? You see the Army gentleman right here. I want to run something. Let me run something by, because it's just my thoughts, because I'm all about oversight. I'm all about truth. Bring truth, okay? But we have an opportunity right now as a country, these folks that are in charge that are doing all of this, if you do it professionally and you do it objectively and you do it transparently and you don't play games, I'm telling you, we could learn a lot as a country and grow from this. But it could go some other places because this is, let me say some things that I think regular folks, us, are thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Congress loves cameras.
Yes.
Okay, all right. They love a deposition.
Yes.
Okay. They love a headline.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they're big on that. And they love dragging somebody into a room and making it feel dramatic.
Yes, indeed.
So here's my question. What are we actually fixing? The guy, genuine question. It's a genuine question. I mean it with love. If somebody committed a crime, okay? Like a true crime, all right. If somebody covered up a crime, hey, okay, got it. If there's a trafficking network that was protected, yeah, expose it and dismantle it.
Yes.
Can we all agree with that?
Absolutely.
That's law enforcement. Now, I gotta keep it real. I'm just saying, Congress holding marathon depositions in someone's hometown, it's good for TV. But it doesn't automatically make any sense policy-wise. It doesn't automatically make for good policy, I guess is what I'm saying. Because what I want in this whole thing with Epstein, I want answers. You want answers. The public wants answers. And we're trying to get answers the old way, where Congress goes through newspapers and headlines and tries to, create the theater inside their little world so that they feel relevant, I guess. I don't know. I'm saying that with love. That's just my theory. But, who's that?
The sad part of this is that the victims have been pushed aside for years. People have known about this for years, and law enforcement has failed to crack down on it, to arrest and put all the facts before the public and say, this is what was happening. This is why we are nailing this guy's hide to the wall. And they haven't done that. And it's a darn shame.
And it's like they need their glory.
Yes.
It's like whose glory is who are you giving the glory to? Who's your credit? Who that's all I'm saying, because I want all the sunlight, I want all the answers. Everybody listening does. We want the system fixed so that it never happens again.
The most shameful part of all of this is what I call the little green apples. The Lord did not make apples to be devoured until they are ripe. And we're talking about little children, little girls. Why have we permitted these perps to defile these little girls, to drag them into this kind of humbug and to destroy their childhood without really cracking down on them a long, long time ago?
And it goes to the root. And if we focused on that, all right, let's think about, I'm all about the truth. Clintons or anybody else.
Yes.
Come on, do it.
Don't sweep it under the rug.
No way. And I'm okay with all the oversight and stuff. That's no problem. It's just, I just question where's the intent here. That's my only issue. Okay. And I know it's I know it's not the popular position, because the popular position is to go drink blood. I get it. But when the other folks are inside, when the other folks are the vampires, I don't want them drinking my blood. We talk about aliens, vampires. I don't believe in vampires, but it's hard not to think there's no aliens out there, huh?
I definitely believe in aliens.
Is it,
more than just the illegal aliens?
More than just the illegal aliens. When the Epstein files were finally released and they started talking about aliens being real, that's when I knew the Epstein files were going to contain really bad things.
Because we needed that to warm us up.
Yeah.
So you're in the theory. You share Miss Jamie's theory. Like the public has to be conditioned to these like these earth-shattering things.
Oh, absolutely.
So you think it took like 50 years for Oswald, whatever it is, for that was design.
Absolutely.
And it conveniently led to covering up or softening the Epstein files.
I'm just saying.
Hey, it makes hey, a year ago Greenland didn't make sense. A month ago, what you're saying may not have made sense. But today, yeah, how about this? It's possible in the law. Isn't there a thing called a reasonable legal hypothesis or I don't know.
Sounds right. That sounds right.
Or a reasonable alternative legal theory or something. Lawyers are out there listening and watching saying, would this dude please shut up? You are butchering that term like there is nobody's business. I got broken egg skull, right? You Googled it.
I did.
So let's go back to this. We want the truth. We want all this. But what I think folks are tired of, what I'm tired of for sure, is taxpayer-funded political theater where both parties just use, in this case, because they'll use a common thing, this case, Epstein, to just go after each other. A political theater funded by taxpayer dollars. I think that's the part where American folks are just like, hey, man, just can't. We want the truth. Like, all right, here's what I'm saying. We fund C-SPAN. All right, cool. Those who want to know, just put it out there and let us go find. But you're using truth where you're saying you want truth, and then when you do find truth, I just don't understand. I don't know where the intentions are. I might be overkill. Maybe I'm in the 2%. I don't know.
I don't understand why we have to have hearings before Congress about crimes of perpetrators who are pedophiles and messing around with little girls. I mean, that's the kind of a crime that a DA, a local
Yes.
DA, and local police should have handled a long time ago. And it shouldn't be the political theater that we are being treated to in Washington, D.C. I don't understand. I'm just a country boy from Lawtell.
Good. I got good crawfish over there. Look, man, okay, you just said it way better than I was saying it. I couldn't get my words out. Look, that is so true. And I think what we can say about Hillary's approach earlier, I think it's classic at minimum, because this is classic Democrat. This is Democrat classic. I think this is classic Washington judo. I mean, she says she is being used as a prop in a political fight. Y'all don't remember Rush Limbaugh and conservative operatives? Y'all don't remember those terms that she would use in the 90s? I mean, that was classic Hillary. You know, she says she tries to put Republicans, her actions, her classic judo, like I say, to put Republicans on defense by telling them, that's a good line, why don't you swear in Trump and grill him? That's how I envisioned how she said it. I wasn't there. I have to. What is it? They creative when you creative whatever.
Creative license.
Yes.
Pure political theater. It's
Yes.
a shame that this nation can't enforce its own laws anymore.
What? I'm with you, and I'm telling you, people are gonna fuss me. People are gonna fuss you like, what are you talking about? I'm just saying. What Albert says is right. This at the end of the day, this is a local issue. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it is a local issue crime-wise. It's only become national because of all the national corruptive players in the system
Yes.
that involve this.
All the sweeping under the carpet stuff that has taken place on this.
How many years? I mean, like, that is crazy to think about.
When this Epstein stuff started, I had hair and it was black.
And we're going to take a break on that. Hey, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Rumble, we'll see you in the commercial break, baby. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, we're broadcasting live also on Rumble. Let me go see you over there. Kill Switch question 8. That's Real Shaq. Come on now, let's join that conversation. You can go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA as well. Hey guys, if you're in the business and you need FRP products, go check out my friends over there at C-Safe, SEA, just like the ocean. Man, I'm telling you, C-Safe's products, they're engineered right here in Louisiana. They're designed to handle the harshest conditions, man, wastewater platforms, everything in between. They're even starting to do a little residential too. So this is what I recommend. If you even think you have a project that has FRP products, that you need that, okay, just go to csafe.com. If you even think that you're building anything, just go to CSafe, SEA, just like the ocean. Check them out. What you got to lose? All right. I know my boy over there, Clay, and his crew, they're going to take care of you. csafe.com. Go check them out. All right, so I got my dear cousin in the studio with me, Senator Albert Lee Guillory. What's going on, cousin?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. And we're having a good time talking about some terrible things.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And you know what? We're going to talk to a guy that gets it, man. Let's talk to my boy, Renee. What's up, Renee?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, yes, I'm here. That's me.
Go for it.
I want to tell you about the legal industrial complex.
Go for it.
Yeah, hey, I mean they gotta clean that out. I mean, from me being a victim getting treated like crap, and nobody cares about my perpetrators, to me whenever I misbehave, they want my money, fines, and fees. Hey, it should be all across the board. Everyone get treated legally, equally. That means Donald Trump and Obama and everybody, or nobody at all. What good are they?
Well, thank you, Renee. Appreciate it. Go across the board. All right. Let's see here. We're going to Justin. What's up, my dear friend Justin? Justin, guess what I ran across?
What's that?
That nice card that you sent me and Jamie. No joke. I keep it in my desk over here. No joke.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
that's
thank
cool.
you. I think of you fondly. Go for it. What's up?
On this Epstein thing, I think for me, at the end of the day, I want the victims to get justice, and how do we prevent this from ever happening again? I don't care if it's a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, old, young, black, white. I don't care. How do we prevent this from happening again?
Thank you. Exactly. And that is the focus. And that's what Albert was saying earlier. Like, hey, man, what about the victims? And Justin, you know, us real folks that go to the grocery store and all this, that have to live the real lives and touch grass, we just want this never to happen again. And we want to learn from it, you know? So my fear is... go ahead.
But the other thing is, I don't know if it was you or Albert that asked, why, this starts at a local and why hasn't it been addressed? Well, keep in mind that it started in South Florida and Pam Bondi was the Attorney General. Just like I feel she's covering it up now, she covered it up then.
Ooh, hey, that is a fact, by the way, on where it started at the district court level. Man, Justin, hey, you brought up the MAGA stuff. Boy, you always bring up something for me to think about. But that is, I will say this with what Justin's saying. Pam Bondi's actions support what Justin's saying.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just the whole Epstein list, it's on my desk. And then, well, show it to us. Why did it take what it took for us to get it to what we got? So, man, good points as always. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in.
Justin.
As all, I'm telling you, look, we're gonna go to Mr. Bobby next. When we were talking about the Senate race, which maybe we could talk about, that's always a good one. He brought up an interesting fact, and he prefaced it with, "Look, there's only 4 people, but it's 4 MAGA people." He knows. If you follow the show, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go to Mr. Bobby. Mr. Bobby, what's up, Mr. Bobby?
Well, I think Mr. Gilroy's got it right, LT. It's all theatrical BS. But you know what? Those Clintons are smart and they're evil. And they won't go to jail, none of them. Now, Pam Bondi's got that list. Well, that's a nice dog. Anyway, well, Liz Maxwell said there's no list. Of course, I guess if she said there was a list, she get probably what she deserves.
Ooh.
Hey, you remember? Here's a good thing for your defense. You remember when General Sportsdog set up the left hook?
Yes. I think strike fast and kick behind.
Well, if you remember, Saddam said, "Oh, the cavalry's going to get lost in the desert, blah blah blah, and then we're going to go smoke screen." But Saddam didn't know that we had GPS.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr.
Yeah.
Bobby. Appreciate it. Man, let me tell you, I love Mr. Bobby. Starman Norman Schwarzkopf, man. That's what hey, a lot of people don't realize this. He was intimately involved in Central Command, in CENTCOM. He even designed, from what I understand, he even designed the desert uniforms.
Did he?
That's my understanding. He was involved in it. Yeah, that was back in there was a chocolate chip ones is the original desert combat uniform or the desert uniform when the next wave. That's what I had, DCUs, but
Oh, that's long behind. I'm an old veteran.
you got the
That's
OD
what-
green.
That's right.
There was no BDUs or anything.
Not at all.
Back when men were men, Quentin. Let's see. Man, look. All right, on this Epstein thing, Justin had such a good point. Hey, if you were around Epstein and you helped him and you shielded him or you funded him or you vouched for him or you looked the other way, I don't care what letter is next to your name. I
Truly.
don't.
This is far beyond party.
Yeah.
This is about law and order. It's about the morality of our country. And when we let little girls be trafficked, and we know about it, and for years we let it drag on, something's wrong with us.
Exactly, and because it's dragged on, because at the local level, and then I guess at the state level, but this is a local thing. It's only national because of the national players, which hey, run the investigation if you want, but run it. Here's my recommendation to the Republicans in Washington right now: run it like grown-ups. Stay very disciplined. You won't get as many headlines. It won't be as exciting. It won't be, whatever. But dude, come on, run it like stay disciplined. Cut all the theatrics.
Yes.
It's tempting. I get it, and especially in the legislative branch because everybody wants to do what they got to do, or whatever. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you want to help people, and you want to talk about it. That's fine.
But it looks like they want more camera time.
They want more camera time than they want answers, and that's all we're saying. I think that's what I'm hearing the callers say. That's what when I was talking to people earlier today, that's what we were saying. Yeah, but ask the real questions. Not, don't take the theatrics out. Hey, here you go. Who introduced whom? Who raised money with him? Who attended the events? Who kept showing up after the 2008 plea deal? That's an interesting question. But pin it down. Get the dates, names, paper, records. The country does not want any more speeches. I think we're about speeched out.
That's correct. It's time for action now.
That's right. Just show the receipts, man. If you say all these things, just do it. But stop speaking, stop talking. And to Hillary Clinton, I know it's your friend. Since she's there saying that she has, since she's there, basically saying she don't have anything to add to the pizza. She has nothing to add, but then cooperates fully. Okay, good. Turn over what you have. Clarify the timeline. But I get the fact that you weren't on the planes, but anywho.
She was so close, and her family was so involved. She had to have seen something or heard something of value to get to the bottom of this. We need to throw the carpets out so that people can stop sweeping stuff under those carpets. Let's get to the real deal.
Let's get to the real deal, because I'll tell you this as we go into break. Americans can spot political choreography instantly. And that's my fear here is we could really get to the truth if we do it disciplined and set the tone, set that bar high on how you do these things with integrity. Anyway, I know it's not exciting, but I do believe it. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're going to switch up a little topics right here, man. Hey, Kamala Harris, you remember her?
Didn't she run for something?
I think she did. What was that? She didn't get any votes in the primary, though. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. What up, my Rumble folks? Man, I got my dear cousin over here, Senator Albert Lee Guillory.
Go Rumble.
Yes. Hey, guys, man, I appreciate. So we're in a break. So in a break, it's just our time together, my dear people. So That's Real says, don't sell me equal justice with the print at the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have my contacts in. I should be able to read those better. I don't know. Yeah, I might need. Let me borrow. I like these glasses. Albert, this actually helps me. You know that? But I have my contacts in. That is crazy. Now on the bottom does it. That's that's pretty strong. I could burn an ant with what I just saw at the bottom. At the bottom, if you put that in the sun, man, that's a fire hazard. Albert's walking with a fire hazard right here under his. I don't want to wrap up. I was about to. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna go to the rest of the audience here in a few. Stick around. We're going to switch. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. Let me see at Rumble, rumble.com. You can go to X, formerly known as Twitter, at Josh Guillory USA. Yeah. Let's talk about my friend Kamala Harris. She might be in the studio.
See what you did there.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, I got him where he had some dental work. So I got him right where I want him, so I can throw in those. He's a trooper, man. He's a trooper. Hey guys, let's switch gears. I got my cousin here, Senator Elbert Guillory, who I always enjoy hanging out with. All right, so Fox News put out a little video clip of Kamala Harris where she gave some remarks via audio on President Trump's State of the Union, you know, and took her little shot. Got to get the shots in. So Fox aired the clip. Great, no problem. She says the speech was full of lies. And then she compares it to kids doing a little show and tell. I felt like I was going to show and tell every time I watched a dang political campaign event with her. I didn't know who was coming out the box. Was it Tim Walz bouncing out like doing something, or was it like a circus clown or something? I don't know. I thought I was going to show and tell all the time. Or you're going to pull out like a donkey or something? I don't know.
I mean, Tim Walz could potentially be a circus clown.
Well, Kamala was never able to make any comments of substance. In all of those speeches, campaign speeches that I heard, she didn't have anything really to say of substance. She didn't talk about any problem and her solution to that problem. She's just another DEI person who stumbled upon the stage of life and hopefully will remain off that stage.
No kidding. And I don't know, what's the rumblings on her running for governor? Anything?
I haven't seen anything recently.
I don't think that would happen. I think the chances of her running for president's more likely than running for governor.
I suspect so.
You know, and then her and Newsom can out woke each other. Y'all think woke's going to be a thing by 2027 primary next year for the Democrats? Or are they going to go the Fetterman route, or are they going to go the woke route?
I love Newsom's comments recently that he's dumb like you. He's talking about black folk and the fact that he had low scores.
Yeah.
I'm dumb like you. If that idiot says something like that in my presence, first I would explain to him what my scores were like, and then I would punch him in the mouth.
See, you could put the sailor in Rutgers, all right? But you can't take the sailor. You like how I got the Rutgers plug in there? You like that?
I appreciate it.
See, there you go.
I'm a former Rutgers law professor.
That is a very big accomplishment, by the way. Very. All right. Now, she says, former Vice President Kamala Harris says that the speech was repetitive. Has she seen her speeches? And frames it out and frames it as out of touch with affordability pressures people feel. Okay. I don't even know where to begin with that. It's hard for me to be lectured by someone about affordability when your net worth grows when you get in the office. And look, I ain't even giving you the numbers. I'm just saying, period. If your net worth grows while you're in office, don't preach to me about anything moral. I'm not saying you're immoral. I'm just saying. But don't be talking about affordability. And did she see the last 4 years, Cousin?
Terrible. Absolute terrible.
Did any? You know what it is? She wasn't getting the real briefings. Fake briefings. The economy's great, Madam Vice President. The price of eggs are down. Don't worry about inflation. You're actually up in the polls, too. So, yeah, but she says it's repetitive. Stop. whatever. Stop praising him. He's just saying the same thing over and over. But here's what this really is. This is a politician doing the safest thing in Democrat politics, which is insult Trump, mock the room. Y'all know I ain't wrong.
Right.
And then pretend all heck is breaking loose. The country's collapsing. The economy's going all to heck in a handbasket.
She didn't mention anything about crime. Crime down to historic lows in big cities, New Orleans, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles. Crime is down. She didn't mention anything. I'm telling you, the woman does not speak on matters of substance. She just flaps her gums. It's sad.
Well, it's true though, and it goes back to the little guy, or to the folks that you're claiming that you want to show a better way. Maybe someone's tired of living in crime-ridden cities, and maybe they want their kid to go to school or go get a trade or whatnot, but they can't do it. Trump's policies, love him or hate him, it is working. And it is working at the local level too. Now that's credit to a lot of local leaders, but maybe it's because they feel they're backed by the highest office. I don't know. But I do know our number 2 is gonna be hot. Bring the heat. We'll be right back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your very, very grateful host. And in studio with me still, Q Money Magic Man. What up, Q?
Good afternoon.
Trooper over there. Also in studio with me, my dear cousin, Senator Elbert Lee Guillory. What's going on, Elbert?
I'm trying to learn how to say good afternoon the way that you do with all that energy.
Well, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate you. You can practice it.
I have been. It still doesn't
Oh,
work.
good. Well, we'll do a contest. I wouldn't be able to compete with you, cousin. Hey, I got a question. What do y'all really think was going through the former vice president's mind when she was critiquing the State of the Union?
There are some assumptions that you make when you ask that question. One is that she has a mind, and I'm trying to explain to you that I don't see where this woman is a person of substance in all of the speeches that she's made that I've heard, in her performance as an attorney general, her performance as a vice president. She has just not been a person of substance. She has no gravitas.
Well, and I think Killswitch agrees with you. Killswitch on Rumble says, in part, because he has other good things on here, she worked from home during COVID. I just thought that was funny. She was, I'm working remote. And President Biden worked remote all 4 years.
And the campaign.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about what a campaign, huh?
He's got a great basement that he hangs out in.
Yes, well ventilated. And Killswitch also says queen of the word salad. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Hey, everybody's got to have something to do. So here's what I said before the break, what she's really doing is kind of like the safest politics in Democrat circles. Just criticize Trump, insult him, mock people. You got to put the mocking in, and then, throw a crisis. So the show and tell, she said it's a lot about show and tell, which is how I felt every time I watched a campaign event that she participated in. But the show and tell line, kind of a cute little jab. Got to get a little jab in, but it does reveal something important if you think about it. Their bench has no inspiring agenda. What are they motivating people with? So they sell snark. They sell their little elite ivory tower nonsense. They package contempt like it is leadership. They have nothing to offer, just like rhinos. All they do is insult. All they do is mock. All they do is twist and give half-truths to deceive.
And don't forget, they love to play the race card.
Jeez.
I think there are 52 cards in a normal deck. In the Democrat deck, there may be 2. I see the race card all of the time. I don't know what the other one is, but that's the one that they use. It's well worn.
I thought each pack came with 2 jokers. I thought that was the 2 cards you were going to talk about. Yeah, but all this stuff. And here's the thing. They talk like in this circle, okay? They talk like voters are supposed to kind of like clap on demand. Have y'all ever thought about that? Because they rolled their eyes at the other side. Like, we mock, we shame, we do all this stuff and it's false shame, and then clap. Here we go. It's on cue. And all this commentary about, hey, Miss Kamala, America doesn't need more commentary. What we need is what we voted for. Border security that actually exists, energy policy that actually works, foreign policy where we're not bowing down and apologizing for the greatness that our country brings to us and the world, foreign policy that scares enemies instead of comforting them. A government that stops treating working people like an ATM for bureaucrats and activists. So, I appreciate the snarkiness. I mean, you got to have something to do when you chilling like that. Hey, it's hard going into office and and quadrupling or whatever it is your net worth. It's hard doing that. But when you're working from home in COVID, y'all think she was selling things in COVID? Like, hey, I'm gonna do a Tupperware party over here. Because her net worth went pretty high.
It had to come from someplace. I wish that it had come from a Tupperware sale.
Yes.
Something was sold, but it wasn't Tupperware. I think it was the United States. It was the interest of America that was sold. And that's where that money comes from, political corruption. And that is one of the big things that we have to drive out of American politics. The corrupt politicians, the ones who go over there driving a Honda and come back driving a Mercedes Benz, those are the ones that we've got to stop.
I think that is well said. Let's just see what car you were driving when you got to Congress, and let's see what car you're driving when you leave Congress. You know, it's so that's such a good point. And when we're talking about corruption and things like that and fraud, you got to go back to the size of the entity. I know we're talking about Kamala Harris right now, but you brought that up with corruption and things like that. A bigger federal government means more opportunity for federal fraud. I think we can all agree with that.
Absolutely. Minnesota's the perfect example.
Yep.
This stuff that they had, the medical fraud, over 10,000% increase in the treatment of children with autism.
Anytime the government is putting the money in, of course it's yes. In COVID, you want more positive reads, just test more.
That's it.
You want to lower it? It's like crime stats. If you want to increase crime stats, arrest more. If you want to decrease, then don't arrest more. It's horrible that people think like that, and it's not majority. It's majorities of good people. Majority of good people over there in those offices. But yeah, this is just philosophical. And look, Republicans on Washington, you get the jab of big government too somehow when you get up there. You know, but the federal government just can't fix things, okay? Let's just face it. It can do very few things very well, better than anything, like protect, military. And then really the other part of the federal government is just get the heck out of our way so our economy can roll. Reasonable regulations. But Congress is only supposed to regulate interstate commerce. And look where that's gone.
Speaking of our economy rolling, one thing that Kamala didn't mention is the stock market. The stock market is up, and our economy right now is really booming.
Yes. Do you remember she would talk about the little guy and all that, and how she understands all that in the campaign trail? I remember hearing speeches about that. But Kuzan, she didn't? So maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it, guys. She didn't mention all the manufacturing jobs for the little guy.
No, those manufacturing jobs that Democrats sent away with all of this the stuff about free trade and free trade agreements.
Yeah.
And now those are coming back, particularly because of Trump's tariffs. They're coming back. Those jobs.
Right. Trump's tariffs very easy. Make it more painful to do business outside of America than it is to do business inside of America. It's not hard. The guy understands it. That's what. And free trade, boy, that just drives me insane. It sure did cost us a lot. Something free sure did cost America a lot. I mean, if you don't like Trump increasing tariffs, okay. But can we at least agree that having non-reciprocal tariffs the way that we were doing and us getting screwed was not fair?
It's what he has done, and what he is doing is working for the American working person, the person who has to pay.
It's true. It's true. And somebody to be that well off, to be that connected, it's pretty impressive. But I feel like he's been like that throughout his career. You see different stages. Some people have that ability. That's fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to take a tiny little break. I'm going to go eat a little Préjons, and we're going to be happy. All right, be right back. up, Rumble? All right, guys, we're live. Yeah, okay, so that's real, Shad. That is so funny that you say that. Because I was about to ask on air, has anybody ever played 52 card pickup? But I didn't want to. The conversation was going somewhere else. That's so funny, though. Nah. So, man, yeah, all right, so we're talking to our Rumble audience in the break. Let me unplug the earphones. That might help us here a little bit. Sorry about that. What do you guys think about all this? What do y'all think about we're talking about Kamala Harris right now and her critique of the State of the Union. What is your thoughts? I don't think I didn't want to bust your bubble. Was anybody saving that video of Kamala Harris to watch later? Did I spoil it for you? Did I spoil it for you? Hey, on a side note to my Rumble folks, man, we appreciate you, brothers and sisters. Thank y'all so much for chiming in. Thank y'all for the chat. Thank y'all for sharing and liking and all the things. So we're going to continue with this story here. We're going to skip this story, or we're going to continue the story with Kamala Harris, just because there's more to it than just her. And then I think after that, guys, we'll try to maybe fit in the U.S. Senate race here in Louisiana. See if we can get that in. You're excited about that. Albert is.
I really am.
We got to keep it fair and balanced.
Absolutely. We would never be otherwise.
I agree. But the person you're allied with, I think very highly of.
Well, he's a hard-working guy. I like all of the candidates. I know them personally.
Yeah.
But we need the best to go and represent Louisiana. And the person who represents Louisiana there will also have a big voice in the American policies. So let's make a good choice.
You know, the Senate race, being a U.S. Senator, it's historically has been obviously an extremely powerful position, but it's a position where you can have the ear of the president, whether you're in the majority or the minority. Now, these days, the last few years, we've kind of been acting like state legislators.
I just instantly pictured Lindsey Graham, and I'm sad about that.
Do you think if Lindsey Graham got in a fight, would he cat fight like a little cat, or would he throw? You think he's throwing bows?
No, he'd send someone else to fight for him.
Y'all go do that.
That was harsher than I intended.
Jeez. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. Go check us out, the Josh Guillory Show. This segment brought to you by my friends over there at Dino's Pizza. What a great time to go to Dino's during Lent. 3 locations. You got the classic location on Bertrand, Dino's South over there on Collie Saloon, and then you got Dino's in Henderson. Love it over there. I love all 3 locations, and I love the folks all around them. That's the one thing about these hometown restaurants. I love that, you really do get, it's more than not to be corny, more than a flavor of the food, but the flavor of the locals.
Food. No matter where you go on earth, you can't beat it.
That's right. That's right. So, we're talking about Kamala Harris and her little critique on the president's State of the Union. But it's more than Kamala Harris. It's more the tone, and the culture and the basically what we're going to have to deal with the next 2 years. I don't know how else to say it. But when Harris says lies, the president lies, that word is doing all the work. It's a shortcut. It's meant to skip the argument. It is designed to be that way. She doesn't want a factual debate because a factual debate forces receipts. I said that earlier. It forces, if you want to debate the facts, it forces a comparison between two visions of the country. It forces you to explain why Democrats fought voter ID, why they coddled illegal immigration for years, why they turned institutions into ideological training camps, and why they keep trying to run the economy through mandates, through subsidies, lawsuits, big government. You tell me, and I'll tell you.
Sadly, she didn't talk at all about how successful this government has been, this president has been, in rooting out corruption in government across the country, cutting government spending, which is crucial to our nation's future. We're almost $40 trillion in debt, and they're still spending much, much too much. But Trump has cut more during this term than any president that I can remember. And I go back a kind of a long way, but his cuts, I love to see that. I love it. We have to continue cutting, rooting out corruption as he has been doing. $40 trillion of debt is something that we cannot sustain.
Agreed. And if the legislative branch would share in that urgency, it would be great. We can argue why, well, President Trump signed the big, beautiful bill and that increased debt and all these things. But when you take, I'm just saying what's been reported over the last 2 years, when you take the actions of the executive branch, where the executive branch did have discretion or thought they had discretion at the time, they did cut spending.
They did.
So you can't, he has actions to back the allegation of fact, which is truth.
And he is still, I agree, he's still spending more money than I would like to see spent, much more, by billions.
Yeah.
But
Congress
at
could help.
least he has made some good steps. And at least every journey begins with one step. So his one step may lead us to major cuts, more cuts, less spending. And I feel a whole lot better.
I do too. I do too. Well, here's a little reality for our friends. Hey, if Democrats, because again, it's easy to say lies. It's easy to make up names or whatever. You know, that's so cheap. And people are done with cheap. People are done with all this fakeness. People are done with that. If Democrats honestly believe in Washington that Trump was crashing the country, they wouldn't be skipping the State of the Union and doing side rallies like it's a middle school protest. They'd be in the chamber with the counterplan. They'd be grown-ups in the room. You don't beat a president by rolling your eyes. You beat him by out-arguing him, by bringing policy, not just, he lies.
Some bozo had to be escorted out of the...
Oh, I heard.
Had to be escorted out of the...
That's our next
speech.
topic. Hold that. Yeah, we're Ilhan Omar and her friend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It's so childish what we're seeing. And that's why if Republicans handle what our last topic was, the whole Epstein thing and these chairman or these committee depositions or committee hearings, if you stick to the facts and you're disciplined, it won't be sexy, it won't be exciting, it won't give the headlines because it's just not that exciting, but at least we'll have truth. So if you want entertaining, you got like WCW or whatever it is on ESPN. I saw that over the weekend. Oh, they're still doing this. That's good. Hey, that's awesome. Anyway, so Kamala Harris calling the speech show and tell tells you everything. That is not policy. Show and tell. I think that's more playground commentary than maybe political commentary. show and tell was what those Walz and Harris rallies were. That was show and tell. Who's coming out of the back next? What famous person did we pay $1 million to say they like me? Who's coming out next? Who's convenient? I was just in the area. I was just in the stadium, and I wanted to come down and say my support for Kamala Harris. And can I cash my $1 million check here or later? So fake. And let's be honest here, because that's a good ingredient to have. I don't think any of us in America or Americans as a whole, look, we don't feel like they're at show and tell. I think what we feel like is that we're at the dang grocery store. I think what we feel like is that we're at the gas pump, that we're like, trying to buy a house and wondering who on earth can afford it. We're better now than we were even a year and a half ago. But that's what we're still focused on. We're not focused on your little political theater. But when you grow your wealth that much when you're in office, you can come out and create a bubble in the environment as you see fit. We, the people, don't have that luxury.
She's always talking about the little guy, the little guy.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about working class Americans, we are overjoyed that the prices are coming down, that inflation is coming down. And we owe much thanks to the president, and he mentioned it a couple of times in his State of the Union speech. But she overlooked that major point in her critique.
Just a convenient little skip over, Elbert. What are you talking about?
I guess she missed that. But if you're concerned about the little guy, and I'm one of America's little guys, so I'm really concerned about it. I have to pay for milk and gasoline and those things.
Yeah. And thanks to Jamie Guillory, my granola. She has put me, guys, I ain't kidding. I lost some weight, but it really wasn't that. It wasn't hard. My diet was so bad. I was eating so much sour candies. And if you know me, I was tearing them up too, boy. My friend Pam came in the studio 2 weeks ago. She brought me a big bag. I said, Pam, I can't have that. But I was having a day, so I ate it. What is that called? Emotional eating. I was emotional eating on that one. But yeah, so thank you, Jamie, for keeping me healthy. I love you, and I appreciate you, and thanks for putting up with me. All right, we'll take a tiny little break. Take a tiny little break. Hey, let's talk about the U.S. Senate race when we get back. Maybe we'll talk about Ilhan Omar's friend. Had to take a little trip in the State of the Union. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Cape Pell Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. I want to see you over there. That chat's going pretty well. Hey, Kill Swish, man, I'm seeing you over there. All right, so, of course, Al Green was escorted out of the State of the Union again. Last year he had his little cane, like, I say it like that because the mic wasn't on him. You couldn't hear what he was saying, just like, and did they have to carry him out last year?
I don't remember, but
because that would be something. Give me my cane back. Anywho, so yeah, thank you, Kill Switch. So he's two in a row. He's got his streak going, the Al Green escort streak.
But his streak has ended already because now he won't be going back because
he
won't
may
have a
win.
seat anymore.
He may win that Republican seat. Hey, with all this redistricting, so that's what Albert's Senator Guillory here is alluding to. Texas, of course, redistrict, California redistrict. I don't know where we're at, net positive, net gain on either side. It's the new battlefield in the political world, the census now, and then congressional districts. Hey, it is what it is. But, call it what it is, too.
We're waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision on racial gerrymandering, and that will certainly have an impact on Louisiana also.
Very curious to see how that goes. Are they going to limit it? Are they going to kick it out? Or are they going? I'm very curious to see what that decision is going to be. That's a Calais case coming out of Louisiana, and that is where we had a gerrymandered seat here. And look, the legislators, give them benefit of the doubt. It's gerrymandered on what they were told the law was. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt in this discussion today. And then Louisiana takes the position that that's unconstitutional. Section 2, I believe, of the Voter Rights Act or whatnot. Then now it's unconstitutional. That's what they're saying. So
I believe that Clarence Thomas is going to lead the Supreme Court in getting rid of racial gerrymandering. All of the indications are that's where he's going, and I think that he's going to take the Supreme Court with him.
Well, let's hope so. I forgot who said it out there, but if you want, I think it was Scalia or maybe Thomas, the only way to end racism is to end racism.
If a person wants to go to Washington and represent the people of Louisiana, let him come or let her come before the people, plead his or her case, and if you do it well, you can convince people to vote for you. And that's it, period.
Yeah, but don't tilt the scale, the government. I mean, you went from one end of the spectrum to the whole other end of the spectrum, and maybe it's time to get back in common sense land. So let's talk about the U.S. Senate race going on here in Louisiana. That's very important, I'm just saying, it's a kind of a big one. All right, so Kuzan, let me see if I got the players right, okay? So you got the U.S. Senate race. It's at first coming in hot and heavy with all these challengers to the incumbent U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy. Now we have down to Cassidy. We have Julia Letlow, who is the 5th congressional district in Louisiana's congressperson. Now Blake Miguez, senator from this area, says, I'm getting out the U.S. Senate race. I'm going to go run for Julia's seat. Julia's running for Senate. You had Julie Iverson that got into the U.S. Senate race and says, no, I got it in. And I think she did it very professionally and very classy and was very positive. I thought she handled herself very well. Well, she gets out now. She's the chief of staff for the governor. We're left with John Fleming, our Secretary of Treasury, and John, definitely a conservative out there, original Freedom Caucus member. He's got the street creds on conservativeship. He's a doctor, but he also business guy, got into the Subway franchises. Julia Letlow, I think, is your traditional Republican. I think you won't be upset with her voting record as a whole, but I don't think we can count on her to buck the rhinos. Okay, so if you're happy with an 100% basically Republican vote, if you're cool with that, then Julia, hey, if Julia Letlow is my senator, I'm high-fiving. I think we're going to have a great one. If John Fleming is our senator, I'm high-fiving. I think we'd have a good one. I think these guys would I don't think we'd have to worry about if we get any of these crazy votes.
the biggest thing that I'm concerned about with Ms. Letlow is that she has voted more with the previous Democrat administration than any other member of the Louisiana delegation, Republican member of the Louisiana delegation.
I didn't know that. I wonder why. I wonder, there had to be some votes that, like, I wonder what the gap would be. I don't know that answer. I hear that a lot, but, I don't know. I just, I think the whole thing's kind of interesting. I don't want to say weird, but it's the timing does make, I just question a lot of this stuff. So how is it that the Trump administration, how did Trump announce his support for Letlow before she even announced she was running? And why would you get in, why her and why now? I asked that. Why her and why now? Because the only thing I can think of is the establishment wants someone that's a safe vote. All right. We're well represented in the establishment. I don't want to, I don't like it. I don't like that game. I think it's disgusting. And I think the way that our governments are run, local to national, needs complete reform back to where it's supposed to be. But that is something to note.
Incidentally, when you were mentioning Mr. Fleming a few minutes ago,
yes,
you left out one of the most important things. He's Old Navy.
Like the store Old Navy?
Like Old Navy.
So he's a sailor. I didn't know that. Well, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Treasure, Mr. Treasure. Good comments, this guy. He's been on the show. Miss Letlow has not been on the show. She's more than welcome. Sure we'll get her on. But yeah, John's been on several times, and and he's been on as a treasure too. He was running some kind of campaign that was helping people get money back in their pockets. We always like that. I told him, so is my name on the list? I don't want to. That's one list we want to be on. The money refund list.
Our governor has been a major player in that Senate race.
Okay.
It was the governor who originally convinced Ms. Emerson, great person that she is, convinced her to get in. And then he convinced the president that Ms. Letlow was the person for Louisiana. So it's been interesting.
And John was already in. That's the thing. John had already announced raising money, had a campaign statewide, had the infrastructure in place.
Absolutely. And John was also the deputy chief of staff for President Trump.
And that's where I believe that's when I first met him. I was amazed, just his knowledge of the audience that was in front of him. Because I got to see him in a different setting while, during my brief moments with him, both in a private setting, kind of like small group, and then presenting. And I always get impressed with the person that's presenting or leading the discussion if they know their audience, because it takes time. Not that it's impressive that you care. That's what impresses me the most, because anybody can go pick up a book and learn. Anybody can go on the internet and learn something. Do you care?
Interesting fact, yesterday a new poll came out, and it has, let's see, I think Fleming is in the lead, and he's about 10 points ahead of Letlow and 20 points or so ahead of Cassidy.
Wait, so the top two are Fleming and Letlow in that poll?
Yes, and he's far ahead of Letlow.
We had this discussion. A few weeks ago, and I forgot who said it, maybe a caller, but there was a prediction, at least one, that the top two coming out of a runoff would be Fleming and Letlow, and that's kind of counterintuitive what we thought from the whole race, that it would be Cassidy and then everybody else.
No, the polls, and there have been at least a half dozen polls,
wow,
and they are all consistent with each other. Fleming number one, Letlow number two, and Cassidy bringing up the rear. I mean, dragging far behind.
Boy, if y'all can imagine, if it's Letlow and Fleming in that runoff, how do you handle that from leadership? Think about this. You got the state GOP here, where you're going to go get your treasurer? No, you'll probably stay out of it. But then you got the governor who's, involved. It seems like he's shown an interest, to say the least. The president, like, where does where does that? It's all bizarre to me.
This really is. It's Louisiana politics at its ugliest, some people would say.
Now, Julia is from North Louisiana. John's also from North Louisiana, right?
Yes, he's from Minden.
Hey, man, Minden, love it out there. Good people. Good people.
Absolutely.
They had a
rock solid.
They had a facility that blew up there years ago. And it was a big deal. I forgot what kind of plant it was or what kind of facility it was, but it was a big deal. If you're from that area, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not giving you any really facts to spur your memory, so I'm not doing a good job. You know that place where it blew up one time, you know? Yeah, that time. It was loud, too. Anywho, man, yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. We're going to see. But I tell you what, I would be a shocked little voter if it's those two. Well, I won't be shocked because I know you get your resources from pretty good, reliable sources. It's that's very telling. And if it continues that trend, does Senator Cassidy bow out?
And who will he support?
Is it too late for him to run in the Democrat primary? I mean, he could give John Bell a run for his money. I'm just saying, I keep saying it. Man, let me tell you guys, we're going to end a little early today. We got Wellness Wednesday on a special edition on Thursday. Man, stick around. Dr. Kevin from Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic going to keep it real. And after that, I got my boy Joe Cunningham. Man, stick around. Thank y'all so much. We love you. Be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.